Welcome back to the MMA Update Official. Today we're breaking down Khamzat Chimaev's reaction to Henry Cejudo's recent public apology and the context behind their long-standing tension. Of all the people in the MMA world, Khamzat Chimaev is not someone fighters want to be at odds with. The undefeated Chechen star has carried a reputation for intensity both inside and outside the cage. That reputation played a role in a feud that dates back to 2022, when Chimaev appeared on Henry Cejudo's podcast alongside the Schmo. While Chimaev's appearance itself passed without incident, he accidentally left his hat on the set. Days later, Paulo Costa appeared on the show and rubbed the hat against his groin, a moment that quickly circulated online and sparked outrage from Chimaev. Although Cejudo was not directly responsible for Costa's actions, Chimaev made it clear that he was unhappy with how the situation was handled. The issue lingered quietly until recently, when Cejudo addressed the matter. During an interview with Red Corner MMA, the former two-division champion took the opportunity to publicly apologize, admitting the situation was poorly handled and explaining that his role in content creation sometimes pushes him to seek reaction. He acknowledged that the timing was wrong and expressed respect for Chimaev, emphasizing that the apology was sincere and that he had no desire for conflict. Shortly afterward, Chimaev was asked about the apology while attending the IBA World Championships in Dubai. His response was measured but honest. He explained that he often finds American interview culture insincere, noting, "People can speak harshly on camera but act friendly in person." Chimaev stressed that, in his view, a person should be genuine outside of interviews. However, he also made it clear that he is not too proud to forgive someone who asks for forgiveness sincerely. Cejudo's apology came just days after his decision loss to Peyton Talbot at UFC 323, a defeat that marked his fourth straight loss since returning from retirement. The setback ultimately led to Cejudo announcing his second retirement from MMA. In later interviews, the 38-year-old admitted that his comeback may have hurt his legacy, though he maintains that his overall achievements still place him among the greatest combat athletes of his generation. Cejudo also reflected on the difficulty of regaining his peak conditioning after several years away from competition, citing recovery and pace as major challenges throughout his return. Joshua Van has found himself at the center of criticism following his championship celebration after defeating Alexandre Pantoja at UFC 323. While the 24-year-old achieved the biggest victory of his career, many fans and analysts questioned whether his reaction was appropriate given the unusual way the fight ended. Van captured the flyweight title not by knockout or submission, but after Pantoja suffered a freak arm and shoulder injury that forced the bout to come to an abrupt conclusion. Because the fight ended under unfortunate circumstances, critics argued that Van and his corner should have shown more restraint in their celebration. Some went as far as labeling the victory a fluke, suggesting that the champion's response lacked sensitivity toward an injured opponent. Addressing the backlash in a recent interview with ESPN, Van explained that his emotions in the moment were complicated. He said his initial reaction was simply celebrating the realization of a lifelong dream. Winning a UFC championship belt was something he had worked toward for years, and the excitement overwhelmed him. However, he also acknowledged that once he saw Pantoja still in visible pain, his perspective shifted. Van said he approached the former champion and apologized for how the fight ended, expressing genuine concern for his opponent's well-being. Van emphasized that the moment was filled with mixed emotions. While he felt sympathy for Pantoja and understood why fans were upset, he also felt pride and joy in fulfilling his dream of becoming a UFC champion. He made it clear that he respects Pantoja and would welcome the opportunity to run the fight back under better circumstances, stating that he wants to prove himself without any controversy attached to the result. This explanation was notably more measured than Van's comments immediately following the event. During the post-fight press conference, the young champion dismissed the criticism more bluntly, saying that people will talk, regardless of whether a fighter performs well or poorly. He added that the only thing that truly mattered was doing what made him happy, and ultimately he walked away with the belt. While Van's celebration drew criticism, he is far from the first fighter to celebrate emphatically after a win caused by an injury. However, Pantoja's status as one of the most respected and accomplished pound-for-pound fighters in the sport likely intensified the reaction from fans. As Van begins his reign as flyweight champion, the focus now shifts to how he carries himself going forward and whether a rematch can settle any remaining doubts surrounding his title victory. Paddy Pimblett has once again made headlines after issuing a clear warning to Ilia Topuria, while also launching a fiery rant aimed at Colby Covington. Speaking during a recent interview with ESPN, the outspoken lightweight contender addressed Topuria's current absence from competition and made it clear that he is focused on one thing: securing a title fight as soon as possible. Pimblett acknowledged that Topuria is dealing with personal and family matters, emphasizing that he wishes him nothing but the best during a difficult time. However, he stressed that those issues do not change his own ambitions. According to Pimblett, the division cannot remain stalled indefinitely, and if the champion is unable to return to action by June or July, the title situation may need to be addressed. Pimblett suggested that an extended absence could result in Topuria vacating the belt, potentially allowing a new undisputed champion to be crowned without a fight taking place. Despite the strong stance, Pimblett maintained that his preference is to face Topuria inside the octagon. He made it clear that his primary goal is competition, not politics, and that he wants to earn the championship through fighting rather than circumstance. Still, his comments sent a clear message to both the champion and the UFC that he expects movement in the division within the coming months. Pimblett's outspoken week did not end there. In a separate video uploaded to his YouTube channel, the Liverpool native turned his attention to Colby Covington, criticizing what he described as a fake and exaggerated public persona. Pimblett claimed that many fighters behave one way in front of the camera and completely differently behind the scenes, pointing to Covington as the most prominent example. He went on to say that, despite Covington's loud personality and political association, he believes the welterweight is widely disliked within the MMA community. Pimblett added that while Covington is often portrayed as being close with high-profile political figures, that connection may be overstated. In a characteristically bold remark, Pimblett suggested that he himself has had more success fighting in front of prominent figures than Covington ever has. The comments capped off another eventful moment in Pimblett's rise, reinforcing his reputation as one of the most vocal and polarizing personalities in the sport. Whether his warnings and criticisms lead to action inside the cage remains to be seen, but Pimblett has once again ensured that all eyes are firmly on him. Belal Muhammad has spoken out in praise of Merab Dvalishvili following the end of the Georgian fighter's impressive winning streak at UFC 323. Although Dvalishvili suffered a decisive loss, Muhammad and many others came away impressed by the former champion's toughness, resilience, and refusal to quit under pressure. Dvalishvili entered UFC 323 riding a remarkable 4-fight winning streak, a run that included a decision victory over Petr Yan in 2023. Their rematch, however, played out very differently. This time, Yan showed clear improvements in his defensive wrestling and was able to consistently punish Dvalishvili during striking exchanges. While Dvalishvili continued to push forward and apply pressure, Yan landed the cleaner and more damaging shots throughout the contest. Reacting to the performance on his YouTube channel, Belal Muhammad focused less on the result and more on Dvalishvili's durability. Muhammad highlighted how difficult it is for fighters to absorb clean body shots and continue moving forward. He emphasized that most fighters would fold or take a knee after absorbing the kind of strikes Dvalishvili endured. Despite clearly being hurt at several moments, Dvalishvili remained on his feet, kept pressing the action, and showed no signs of quitting until the final bell. Muhammad also expressed confusion regarding the advice Dvalishvili was receiving from his corner during the fight. He noted that the corner appeared to suggest Dvalishvili was ahead of the scorecards, which raised eyebrows given the flow of the bout. In Muhammad's view, the messaging may have affected Dvalishvili's urgency, particularly in the later rounds when a stronger push may have been needed. He added that fellow fighter Aljamain Sterling shared similar confusion, stating he did not see the fight as lopsided as some of the corner instructions implied. While the fight was competitive, Muhammad made it clear that he believed Yan was winning the contest based on damage and control. Though Dvalishvili was not dominated from start to finish, Yan consistently landed the heavier shot and imposed his striking throughout the fight, making the judges understandable. Dvalishvili was not the only one to draw attention that night. Petr Yan's performance earned praise from fans and fellow fighters alike, including newly crowned flyweight champion Joshua Van. Speaking with ESPN, Van said he was happy to see one of his favorite fighters reclaim the title, calling the moment special despite his respect for Dvalishvili as a competitor in person. Although the loss marked the end of Dvalishvili's reign, his toughness and heart left a lasting impression, reinforcing why he remains one of the most respected fighters in the sport. Jamal Hill has officially expressed interest in a potential fight against former light heavyweight champion Jan Blachowicz, setting the stage for a high-profile matchup in the division. The development follows Hill's viral altercation during UFC 323, an incident that quickly drew attention across the MMA community. Hill made headlines after a video circulated online showing him issuing a heated warning during a confrontation at the event. In the clip, Hill appeared to threaten an individual, later explaining, "The situation involves someone approaching his girlfriend." According to Hill, the incident was instigated by past personal drama and should not be viewed as unprovoked aggression. He stated that the tension traces back several years and emphasized that the matter was blown out of proportion once the footage went public. In addressing the situation, Hill revealed that he had heard Jan Blachowicz was unhappy with how things unfolded at UFC 323 and was considering stepping in on behalf of his fellow countrywoman. While Hill clarified that he had not personally seen any direct statements, tweets, or videos from Blachowicz, he acknowledged the speculation and made his stance clear. Hill said that if Blachowicz is interested in a fight, he would welcome the opportunity without hesitation. Hill described the matchup as one he would absolutely love, framing it as a battle between two former champions. He spoke confidently about the possibility of facing the veteran, stating that he would be eager to test himself against Blachowicz and put an end to the famed Polish power inside the octagon. At the same time, Hill stressed that he does not engage in threats or confrontations outside of the sport, making it clear that he handles conflict professionally and within the cage. The speculation soon turned into something more concrete when Blachowicz publicly challenged Hill on social media, stating that he would be ready to fight as soon as Hill is healthy. Hill responded quickly and directly, accepting the challenge and confirming his willingness to meet Blachowicz inside the octagon. The exchange signaled that any on-site tension has now shifted toward a legitimate sporting contest. While the UFC has yet to officially book the fight, it is a matchup the promotion is likely to consider seriously. Both Hill and Blachowicz are former light heavyweight champions and remain ranked inside the top 10 of the division. Blachowicz currently sits at number 5, while Hill is ranked 7th. Speculation surrounding Francis Ngannou's next fight has continued for months, but a recent PFL heavyweight title victory may have provided the clearest indication yet of what could be next for the former UFC champion. Following Vadim Nemkov's championship win at the PFL's most recent event, momentum appears to be building toward a potential clash between two of the organization's most powerful heavyweights. Ngannou has not competed since October 2024 when he made his long-anticipated PFL debut and scored a decisive victory over Renan Ferreira. That bout marked Ngannou's return to mixed martial arts after his high-profile boxing venture and solidified his presence as one of the most dangerous heavyweights in the sport. Since then, fans have been left wondering when he would step back into the cage and who would be standing across from him. At the latest PFL event, Nemkov captured the promotion's inaugural heavyweight championship by securing a first-round submission victory. After the fight, Nemkov was asked about his future plans and potential opponents. While remaining respectful and measured, he made it clear that fighting Ngannou is the matchup he wants most. The statement immediately caught attention due to Nemkov's status as one of the most accomplished fighters on the PFL roster, and now the reigning heavyweight champion. It did not take long for Nemkov's comments to reach Ngannou. The Cameroonian knockout artist responded confidently, indicating that he has been ready for a long time and suggesting that a showdown could be approaching. His brief but direct response fueled speculation that the fight is not only possible, but potentially already on the promotion's radar. Adding further context to the situation, PFL CEO John Martin has recently addressed Ngannou's future with the organization. According to Martin, Ngannou has one fight remaining on his current contract, and the promotion is aiming to make that bout a truly special event. Martin indicated that fans should expect to see Ngannou compete again in 2026, after which discussions will take place regarding his long-term plans. At 39 years old, questions remain about how much longer Ngannou intends to compete and whether his future lies strictly in MMA or includes a return to boxing. While Nemkov is the reigning PFL heavyweight champion, there has been some confusion regarding Ngannou's championship status. Although Ngannou won a belt following his victory over Ferreira, it was a symbolic Super Fights heavyweight title rather than the official divisional championship. This distinction explains why Nemkov is currently recognized as the PFL heavyweight king.